Johnson M1941, World War II. Inventor of the Johnson rifle, Melvin Johnson was a gun designer who felt that the M1 Garand rifle had several significant flaws, so he developed his own semi-auto 30-06 rifle to supplement the M1. His thought was that if the problems arose with the M1 in combat, production of his rifle would provide a continuing supply of arms while problems with the M1 were worked out. When the Johnson rifle was tested formally alongside the M1, the two were found to be pretty much evenly matched, which led the Army to dismiss the Johnson. If it wasn't a significant improvement over the Garand, ordnance didn't see the use in siphoning off resources to produce a second rifle. The Johnson had some interesting features, primarily its magazine design. It used a fixed 10-round rotary magazine, which could be fed by 5-round standard stripper clips or loose individual cartridges. It could also be topped up without interfering with the rifle's action, unlike the M1. On the other hand, it was not well suited to using a bayonet, since the extra weight on the barrel was liable to cause reliability problems. Johnson thought that the bayonets were mostly useless. The Army used the issue as a rationale to dismiss the Johnson from consideration. However, Johnson was able to make sales of the rifle to the Dutch government, which was in urgent need of arms for the East Indies colonies. This is where the M1941 designation came from. It was the Dutch model name. Only a few of the manufactured rifles were delivered before the Japanese overran the Dutch islands, rendering the rest of the shipment moot. At this point, Johnson was also working to interest the newly formed Marine paratroop battalions in a light machine gun version of the rifle. The Paramarines needed an LMG which could be broken down for jumping, light enough for a single man to effectively and quick to reassemble upon landing. The Johnson LMG met these requirements extremely well and was adopted for the purpose. The Paramarines were being issued rising folding stock submachine guns in addition to the Johnson LMGs, as they found the risings less than desirable. Someone noticed that thousands of M1941 Johnson rifles were effectively sitting around abandoned on the docks, and the Paramarines liberated more than a few of them. These rifles were never officially on the U.S. Army books, but they were used on Bougainville and a few other small islands in the Pacific. In total, 30,000 Johnson M1941s were produced by the end of World War II, and over 12,000 saw combat in the Chinese and Pacific theaters.